McCaig. Okay. Today we got some things. We're going to do Revelations 11, decode that book, and we're going to decode the timeline, the overall timeline of Revelations. Because Revelations is a halfway point in the book. And it's like it will catch us up. Also, Revelations in the timeline will catch us up to today. That's where we are in the timeline. Is in 11, in book 11. That's where we are in the timeline. So I want to talk about a couple things here before we get into this. Um, One, and most importantly, right? What we have two commandments, and both of them are to love, right? And both of them are about love. So next week, not going to do this show on Revelations and stuff. Going to take a break because there's a wedding to officiate that I'm going to be officiating very happily, Alan and Reagan. So, congratulations to them. I will be taking a break from being online, most likely on that date, on next Sunday, maybe not, but I won't be doing Revelations for sure. Okay. We'll take a break from that, and I'm just not going to focus on this information. I'm going to focus on that. Right? Love God, love your brothers and sisters. So this is a celebration of both of those things next week. I'm very excited, very happy. Uh, couldn't be happier to be doing anything. So, uh, yeah. Pamela and Alan are y'all. That's so great. I'm so excited. Next week, I mean, talk about the prophecies coming true and everything. What a lot of happiness that is. I mean, it's just could it be a better outcome event? Uh, it's just really great. So, and in accordance with that, no doing any spiritual work, anything for anyone, whatever you think you should be doing for me or God or anything like that. Let's take a break this week and focus on this celebration of love. Uh, between wonderful people and their families and a new little one coming. What a great everything, hey? Really great everything. So that's what I say. Pause all actions until you know after the celebration and so on, and then same here. I'm going to be doing the same thing. Is why I'm not going to be there to back you, help you, nothing like that and stuff. So we're just going to take a break, and we're going to have this celebration, which I think is wonderful. That's love God and love your brothers and sisters. So when you get together to celebrate an event of love, I mean, it's kind of like the getting to the peak and the possibilities. Yes, yes. Okay. All right. So I just wanted everyone to know that. All right. Uh, let me see if I got anything else I got in here to say. Okay. Okay, now remember, I'm going to get into Revelations 11 now. Okay, we're back on track. We're going to do Revelations 11 today. We're going to do one book. Okay, why are we doing one book? Well, this is an important book. Okay, because it's now in the time loop. Is book 11 is now, like that's present day is in book 11 in the time cycle. Remember, there are two things going on in this book. One is describing the time cycle that everyone's in, and two is describing the individual spiritual cycle of winning this game of souls. Yes? Okay, so I've won the individual cycle of the game of souls, right? Because this is a description of it, like Mirababa's description of, hey, this is creation three different ways and explain in God Speaks. And one of them is, it's very detailed about the planes. That's Oh, this is how the world is, starts and ends, and this is how the individual spiritual process of being here starts and ends. Yes, those are cycle. There's a description of a cycle within a cycle. This book, Revelations, is describing those two things at one time. Do you see what I'm saying? This is describing the cycle of the time, but it's also describing the individual's cycle. You see what I'm saying? The spiritual cycle. Why we're in the dome. We don't all exactly hatch at the same time. Exactly. There are people coming and going from here during the cycle, but the cycle itself has a start and a conclusion. How could the cycle go on without me here? It can't. So I'm here for all the days. My cycle matches, the time cycle. And, it's also possible to hack it and make it to the end of the cycle if you're one of the ones that can do that using the methods I've explained. There are miracles available to us. So uh, today, uh, all right, Jamie. Hey, listen. Oh, well, there is something else I forgot to get into before I get into this. Uh, Everyone who's supporting this work. I mean, what? I can't do this work without your support, and you you're the one supporting this work. Jay's here. Excellent. Hey, Jay. Yeah, like literally, you were the one supporting this, and it couldn't happen without you. So, God bless you. And I pray for you all the time, every day. Everyone's supporting this work. I do because you make it happen. So, thank you for that. So, uh, okay. So remember this back into Revelation. Thanks for your patience. Back into 11. Remember, see, I've won the whole cycle, the game, the cycle. I've won the cycle during the cycle of time. I'm like, hey, you know what? Because I like you win, and then Super Mario Brothers, you went to the end of the game, and you know into the temple, and then into your heart, all the information. Oh, yeah, what? You know, we were probably laid there for 9 months and did never ate nothing, just laid there. Is that guy dead? I'm bringing that up for a reason. Okay, we're going to read through this. All right. Now, uh, also, because what happens is you get to this spot of the book and it becomes sort of cryptic, and the timeline becomes like, what is this timeline and stuff? It's very difficult unless you have a key to unlock the whole picture, right? I have a key, right? Here's the end date. So I have that key, just so the knowledge that they have, like the people in the game, they know the whole script. I don't know every single detail of the script, but it's going to be unlocked because I'm going to unlock it for you because I have a key to put in and decode it. So at this point at 11, so much time comes in that I have to go over the timeline here. And then what we're going to do is, oh, that's the end date. And here's the timeline. We can work back to the date where we are now. Okay. And I just brought up where COVID was, yes, in the previous book. And now it's like, oh, well, we're after COVID. So, uh, wait, where are we? You see what I'm saying? And the easiest way to get exactness on that is to work backwards from the end date using the time pieces in this book. Okay. And I'm doing this in real time, honestly. I pretty close to. Like, I'll just look into this like right before I give you the information. I haven't decoded the whole thing or anything like that. I've decoded so much stuff for God. And if God tells me to start decoding, I don't need to know the end. I'll hear it during. That's just what I'll decode the entire book of Revelations because God tells me I can. Uh, that's all. That's it. That's it. Because I've completed this process. I could look at it and go, oh, hey, this is what's going on because I live this. The one part of the information, right? Oh, this is the individual timeline spiritually, and that's the time loop. I can decode it because I've done it. That's the one part. So, and then being given the key as Super Mario Brothers to get to the end. Oh, and here's, by the way, here's the end date. was like, that's the ending. What? You know, and that's a key to work back to all the rest of the time stuff in here. So that's what I want to do today. Two things: go over 11, book 11 and talk about how this relates to the individual spiritual process. That's what I'm going to do today. And then I'm going to skip to doing time. Okay. And then we're going to take a break, have a great celebration next weekend and all that kind of stuff. And then we'll come back to it knowing the timeline, right? And then you can see, oh, the events are because I'm gonna decode you up to today in this book. You follow? And then we're gonna take a break and I'm gonna decode the future for you. You see? So in our break, here's a question to ponder. Should I do that? Should I do that? Should There's a question to ponder. Should I do that? You know what I mean? Should I give you this timeline and because actually I'm going to be giving it today. You know, you see what I'm saying? If I give you the timeline backwards, what you can watch it, come along and go along. You see? Yes, you could do that. So should I do it? You know, well, God says I should do it, so I'm doing it. So that's it. That's my job to do it. Okay. All right, George, and yeah, George, thanks for the support, man. Yeah. Okay, so good timing, George. I did my preamble, book 11. Here we go. Okay. Now, remember where I'm decoding this today. I'm decoding this to the individual experience, going up the plays, you know, reuniting with God. That, see, that's in this book too, and that's what I'm going to focus on in this. And then I think that'll make it clear what's going on here. Okay. After we do the timeline, you come back here and be like, oh, okay. Okay. All right. All right. Chapter 11. And there was given me a reed like unto a rod, and the angels stood, saying, rise and measure the temple of God, and the altar, and them that worship therein. Right? I went to Mary too and blacked out. There's God, and there's the angel Gabriel. Hey, here, I'm giving you this reed like a rod. Thing is, here's the sword of justice. It's like, here you go. Now go see what's up out there. Okay, so go measure, go actually find out what's going on. Now you have, don't worry, you know, if anybody gets to you, automatically, because you'll be given this talisman instrument, you know, God-given thingy, you know, when you get to the, you know, seventh play, you're like untouchable. In fact, you can touch them if you want now. It's like, what? uh so that's an individual experience. Yes, definitely. Uh, so go measure them. Go, you know, go back into the body. It's like, wait, you meet with God and now you, oh. But the court which is without the temple leave out and measure it not, for it is given unto the Gentiles, and the holy city shall they tread underfoot 40 and 2 months. Here's where we start to get into the timeline. So just I'm gonna I'm gonna do 11 on the interior thing, and then we're gonna go over the timeline. So remember, you saw that, and we're gonna put all the time pieces together. Hold on there. Okay. All right. But of course, let's see. Well, we'll do time. Okay. And I will give you power unto my two, and I will give power unto my two witnesses, and they shall prophesy 1,203 days clothed in sackcloth. Right? Okay. So what are the two witnesses? This is a big who. What are the two witnesses? You're looking at them. You're looking at the two witnesses right now. You're looking at my two witnesses, my individual two witnesses. What witnesses? What are the part of a human that witnesses everything? Right? Unless you're blind. Hint, hint. Right? What are your two witnesses? Your eyes. Everything comes through your eyes. Your witnesses here, right? Your eyes right next to the temple. Your temple is, you know, where it goes to your mind. And what happens if it's something you accept, right? We're set thoughts. And so, oh my God, that's what I've been waiting for. Oh, that's God, you know. Then if it enters your eyes, you know, enters the temple, you can say, oh, that's okay. That's with God. And that's, you know, that's the truth. That's a miracle, whatever. That's God. Then what? It enters your heart, which is, heaven, your heart. Yeah. All right, Lee. Catch it up. We're doing 11. Okay. Hang in there. I got a lot to do. So watch the beginning again and to set you, but it's great to have you here. Uh, okay. So after, I had the experience, oh, well, hey, guess God, uh, you know, uh, you know, I can prophesy. I can what? What? This is describing the individual's process. Yes, yes. You go for 42 months, 3.5 years, plus 3.5 years is sackcloth, right? 7 years. 2017 to 2024. I'm not in sackcloth. Look at me, I'm indoors. Yes, yes. Okay. These are the two olive trees and the two candlesticks standing before the God of the earth. Your eyes you're not alone in experiencing what you experience. You are having an individual experience in this body, yes, but remember what the why you're here is to remove the veils and then experience what you really are, which is connected with God, i.e., a part of God, and you never left God. So those two candlesticks, those two olive trees, that's your connection with God. This is God can see through your eyes just as well as you can. You see, that's what I say. And if any man will hurt them, fire proceedeth out of their mouth and devoureth their enemies. And if any man will hurt them, he must in this manner be killed. Right? uh right, I walk around India, hey, look, let me play with your gun, man, at the airport. Right, I mess with them. I show you this is the power I have. They know they can't touch me. I mess with them. They all know that everywhere I go, they cannot touch me, period. And that's why, we'll be getting to Revelations 12 when a power is given, what to use the power for. There's only one reason to that for me to use the power, and that is what everything I've told everybody is to cause the end of time. That's it. Number 12 coming up, right? Uh, these have power to shut heaven, uh, that it rain not in the days of their prophecy, right? I become what I say, hey, if you listen, I can tell you the truth and I can help you get to heaven. But if you don't listen, for sure you're going to hell because you shall know the truth and the truth shall set you free. If you deny it, obviously the converse happens. The truth will bond you, turn you into bond slave, bondage you to here and coming back. Yes, yes, okay. Uh, that's how you have power to shut heaven and have power over waters to turn them to blood, and to smite earth with all the plagues as often as they will. So obviously these plagues happen. The red tide, the blood waters for the blood. When I was down here, uh, a lot of people moved, and when they shall have finished their testimony, the beast that ascendeth out of the bottomless pit shall make war against them and shall overcome them and kill them. What is this? I met with the devil, right? That's a part of it. Yes, you can't be with God until you meet with the devil. That's what I said, and that's a fact. See, that's a loop within a loop. My loop of when I have to complete this 7 plays and stuff, it can't match up with the time loop because then I don't have the information early enough to help people. It has to be ahead of time. That's like, you know, my death and every birth occurred during this life. I didn't die out of and not get switched to another body. I died, and got switched, and didn't get switched to another body. In you go, back in the same body. I'm like, that thing's dead. Wait, no, what? Don't be, wait. No, don't worry. Get back in there. You got a new heart. That's what makes the thing run. You're good to go. See you later. Yes, sir. Okay. And their dead bodies shall lie in the street of the great city, which spiritually is called Sodom and Sodom and Egypt, where also our Lord was crucified. I mean, you know, I was told to go to Mayor Baba's tomb. I mean, that's obviously a sacred location where individuals have been, besides myself, now that I've taken others there, and have had it, an actual religion, not religion, an actual individual experience with God themselves individually. Yes? So God is there. Was the only thing that makes a city holy in any way if God is there. Doesn't matter what houses or temples or none of that stuff matters. Only matters, always say, only matters if God is there. No other reason. Yes? So, and then the people and the kindreds and the tongues and nations shall see the dead bodies 3 days and half, and shall not suffer their dead bodies to be put in graves, which is a very unusual thing. One of the things that happened to me individually, I lose consciousness of this world when I'm at Mary Bravo's tomb that touches the first time. Completely, I'm walking out of there and I lost consciousness, right? I had a meeting with God and Gabriel the angel and Jesus. And so that was my experience. But during that experience, I was somehow moved from right outside his tomb to lying in a bed next to Baba's room in the caretaker's room, right over sort of near the bathrooms over there by the tomb, but not right there, but very physically close there. You know, there's a bed they have set up in case the situation, uh, and I know that having experienced this before, samadhi, that your heart stops, your breathing stops, your body stops functioning. Uh, i.e., is dead. For sure, it's dead. For sure, it's dead. Uh, and they didn't like call an ambulance. They didn't do that. Quick, get the police. No, no. Okay, hey, he's dead. Send him to the morgue. They didn't do none of that stuff. You, You see, I obviously that happened, but that didn't happen. Yeah, no, no, that's right, Dee. So, did I walk? You see what I'm saying? Which is a complete possibility, actually. Because one time I was skiing one time, and it was at night, and I was there with friends. I was young. I was like, I don't know what. Let's see, 20. You know what I'm saying? I was skiing down the mountain at night, friends and stuff. And I had driven there. It's just a couple of us. We were night skiing because it was like near the school we were at. So really cheap too. It was like student like this one night. So we would go up there for like $10 and be like, yeah, this is the only time we could ski. Anyway, so we did that. And I remember I was skiing down and I was like, oh, and then next thing I know, I was at my car. There's a missing space of time. And my friends were, I was like, dude, what? I just popped in here. What was I say anything weird or anything? They're like, no, you're fine. So I think there's also an automaticness to, getting you to do something, because remember, them angels and stuff, they got to breathe or nothing like that or eat or, you know, so it's a very, when the veil's removed, it's removed and it doesn't go along with like your infinity and the finite duality, this place, they don't go together. That's why there's a separation, a barrier between time in this bubble and God outside of it. They cannot exist together. It's impossible. So that someone has this consciousness of being with God and being in time is impossible. It's a miracle to know this information and be in here, because when those two things happen, automatically you leave. You see, in every case except rare cases, right? First of all, there's the non-rare case of everyone that knows what's going on, the 33, the we, they all know, and they're not leaving. But the winners of the game, if it happens to you, it's like click, boom, out of here. But then certain the first one, he don't get to leave, right? He's like, go tell everybody. The guy's like, oh, I thought this is where you win. It's like, yeah, you won, but they're not going to win this. You go tell them how to win. It's like, that's true. So, okay, all right. Uh, and they that dwell upon the earth shall rejoice over them and make merry, and shall send gifts to one another, because these two prophets tormented them that dwelt on the earth. A very important thing to understand. The we are here as the carnies to get us to spiritually evolve. Yes. Okay. In that process, we're a freaking, like I say, think of them at like Disney World and like everybody spilling their Slurpees on them, kick them in the knee. It just is horrible, like children. Where you don't know the truth and no one tells us the truth. So we have to figure it out. It's like, you can't be mad at us. So you can just tell us. And they're like, we can't. It's a game. So it's a very hard game. It's very hard for the ones manning the carnival. You see, we're a problem. Like I am definitely a problem. I'm that nice to them coming up. I'm like, you're lying to me, which they were, and you know it's telling me the truth. What's really going on? And so, but once you get to God at the end game, you are no longer a problem because at some point you're gonna, it's all gonna gel in there. You're gonna forgive the devil and be like, "What? You guys are just working this game?" And I just wanted, like, yeah. I'm like, well, I guess I can't be mad at you then because crap. I was pretty mad at you. Like, we get you pretty mad at us. That's what makes you win. It's like, okay, you're gifted at that. It's like, yeah, that's our gift. The scripted, that's what we do. It's like, all right. Yeah, okay, you would be tough to be forgiven for to forgive. Okay, then you're forgiven. Okay. But yeah, that's a process. You see? That's describing that there. Okay. All right. And after 3.5 days, the spirit of life from God entered into them, and they stood on their feet, and a great fear fell upon them. We saw them. Everyone's the other team is scared of me. Period. Period. And and they're saying 3 days and a half. What's that? And half, right? Such a weird cryptic. It doesn't say and and a half. It says and half. This is so weird. Obviously, the 3 days reference is a reference to what Jesus experienced on the cross. And he went into samadhi. God the Father enters him. He wins the game. Oh, we're one. Everybody's forgiven. Hey, I get to go home. Yeah. He's like, yeah, no, get back in the cave, and then out you go. Get back and walk among them and help them out. It's like, okay. Uh, hit the like button, guys. Thank you, Didi. Uh, okay, uh, that's what that's about there. All right. Uh, so I uh, and their enemies beheld them. Right. Okay. Okay. Sorry. And they heard a great voice from heaven saying unto them, "Come up hither." And they ascended into heaven in a cloud, and their enemies beheld them. That's what happened to me, right? I go into that room, they know I'm with God. My enemies before are no longer my enemies. In fact, they won't let me stay at the Mama Center anymore. It's like, get out of here. You're done. Your goose is cooked. You're done. This is a great gift. Don't come back. You have nothing. We have nothing for you here. You go tell everyone. I sent them here, but don't come here. Uh, yes. In other words, I was so angry at the banker, so angry at this whole thing, but, it's still I know the actions will occur to end the whole thing and stuff like that, but they're forgiven because this is the only test there is. You see what I'm saying? The script is. It's not gonna be another one. So, they did their role, like I must have done at one point their role, yes. You must have done their role and done it right, and then they rejoice for more reasons. Yes, more reasons that hey, we're no longer enemies. But what? You win the game spiritually, and then what happens? You free up a slot. Somebody else could take your slot and move forward. That's why they're working down there in the trenches every time loop, right? To free up a slot. Oh man, one of us gets to move. And they have to do their job right to free up a slot. And so when it happens, it's like, hey, what? Oh, what? Yeah. At the same hour, there was a great earthquake, and the tenth part of the city fell, and in the earthquake were slain of men 7,000, right? 7,000. The 7,000, right? I I am what? I'm the only possibility for the 7,000. Yes, yes. The 7,000 will near the ball. Hey, who are we talking about here? Obviously, yes, yes. And a remnant were affrighted, and they and gave glory to God in heaven. Yeah. So the 7,000 were like, this dude found God in the path. Yes, that's why you're here today. Yes. And then the other was, they're like, dude, don't mess with that guy. Even the cops are like, I'm just I'll just do things that prove the cops can't, touch me. At the drum circle, the cops don't even come anymore quite often. And if they do, I'll dance in front of them like, hey, I will. I did last Sunday I did that. Just went over to their things and started dancing when they drove off. Like, they're using it as a marketing event for them. I'm like, dude, it's just locals this time of year. Get out of here. Like, nobody, this is just us. You know us later. Yeah, don't pull the shenanigans while you're here. Go away. And I'll just dance. I won't say nothing to him. Like, let me do it a little bit. Make it funny. Just say yes, yes. So, uh, the second woe is past, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly. So, I say we're in here. The second and third woe here is so in our timeline. I'm gonna go through that after this. Oh, it's 11, 12. Okay, we're getting there. We're getting it. Good, good. And the seventh angel, uh, well, let's see. And behold, the third woe cometh quickly. Uh, and the seventh angel sounded, and these were great voices in heaven saying, the kingdoms of this world are become the kingdoms of our Lord and of his Christ, and he shall reign forever and ever. In other words, once you get to the seventh plane and you realize what's actually going on, it's just downloaded into and you instantly know everything that's going on. You're like, uh, and you just met with God. You're like, okay, God is real, and this game is fake, and whoever ships this game is real is not with God. I mean, and I can't be killed, so you can't shut me up, right? As an individual, but then also, this is occurring in the time loop, right? There are certain people that have listened to about the truth and are starting to operate that way, and so on. And this happens at this time period now. There are enough individuals that aren't like uh, fake help Jack and screw him and steal his shit. There are actually people here who are just being so dastardly damned to me is beyond imagination. They're actually human beings of the 7,000 and have finally showed up here. You see, this has happened now. Don't mean to, You're early, obviously, Dee Dee. You see what I'm saying, and some others. We're able to see this, but this accumulates. This happens. The second and the third woe have there's a lot of time we're talking. There's a significant amount of time in here. You see that we're talking about that this is occurring. Uh, it's happening. All right. That's what this is describing. Okay. Uh, And when it talks about the great voices of heaven and clouds and so on, Bear Baba has a key that he is unlocked. You could look it up on any, just Google it and say, what did Bear Baba say about Jesus Christ? So you look it up, and it says, what's sort of the one key that he gave that we could turn and lock is the when it's a mistake to think that Christians think that Jesus could be descending on clouds to physically, like, oh, hey, there he is up in the clouds right there. That means he's entering the temple. He said clouds means like the plains. That's all he said about it. Clouds means like the plains, i.e., the temple of mind. You see, to say we meet with him in the ether. You see, he's coming into us that way. Yes. The thoughts are not physical; they enter us. Yes, I mean we have a lot of electricity, air, on and on with the non-physical, the angels, and so on. So you win the physical game. Yes, you win the gross play. You win it. You win all the games. Yes, you be with God. Yes, okay. That's what we're talking about here. All right. And the 420 elders which sat before their God on their seats fell upon their faces and worshiped God. The last game winners up there next to God at the right hand of God is like, okay, somebody's coming to our slot. And as I said, when you meet with God at this time, the thing that you learn is there's only one thing you can do in God's presence, and that is to worship God. There is no choice. There's no free will. It doesn't exist. Okay, this is our opportunity of free will. Who are you really? You know what I mean? When we wipe your memory, what are you actually going to do? That's us now. You see what I'm saying? Oh, you want to feel the absence of God? There, you're free. And I was like, thanks. Give me where? How do I get back? Okay. Saying, we give thanks, O Lord God Almighty, which art and wast and art to come. A description of the time loop, obviously, because thou hast taken to thee thy great power and has reigned. God has come back into the temple, into the body, and has reconnected to the individual. And right, Christ consciousness, Bodhisattva, seven plane, perfect master, blah blah blah, with the words impossible to describe. I won the game. Where's my great grandson? I would describe, because what does he play? He's played some game. Uh, oh God, what is it? I can't remember, but it has a tagline as, and he says it to me a bunch when I'm with it. He's like, "You win the game." I was like, "What?" Anyway, that's what happens. You see, you win the game. And the nations were angry, and thy wrath is come, and the time of the dead, that they shall be judged, and that thou shouldst give reward unto thy servants and prophets, and to the saints, and them that fear thy name, small and great, and shouldest destroy them which destroy the earth. Yes, yes. You get to the seventh plane. Thank you. They were playing a great game. Or I still chop their heads off. That's evil what they do. Yeah, that's what you come to the realization is, listen, because you look backwards, you're like, who's there to help? It's like everybody here's just the carny crew. You're like, listen, and you go back to him and say, listen, I get your cardio stuff and you do your job and you're forgiven. Great, but we're still in the body. Time is still happening. I've done this. Sign to trust, and you'll get out now. They're like, no. What do you mean, no? I'm like, I'm telling you, I'm side with God. I'm on the other side. I can take you up. Nope. Nope. And the temple of God was opened in heaven, and there was seen in his temple the ark of his testament, and there were lightnings, voices and thunderings, and earthquake and great hail. When you get to the end, you're connected with God, and when there's a hope, you know everything, right? It destroys your foundation of reality. Whoops, everything goes totally destroyed, total destruction of your entire reality. God is real because I heard you were, definitely possibility at some level, but I met with you, so that is the end of the whole maybe situation. You see what I'm saying? There's no maybe anymore. You just met with God. So it's like, what are you going to deny yourself? You can't walk around denying your own experience. That can't work out for you. That doesn't work. You can't have the kingdom of heaven. The kingdom isn't divided anymore. You see, there's no battle anymore with anything. That's the end of it. You see, that's the end of it. And then your only concern is, well, oh man, yeah, y'all are still, you don't know yet. Oh man, I gotta help you. You see, so 2017 touched the tube. 2024, 7 years later, we're up to now. That's the time right here. It's describing the individual's experience, and then what happens. That just did that 7 years of here. That's explaining this, yes. And what have I been saying since I touched that tube? Freehold. I've been saying it, ringing that bell. I've been hitting that with a sledgehammer every single day. I tell you, I tell you, I tell you, this will happen. And that is Revelations number 12. That we're not going to do that today. We're going to take a break here. Now I'm going to talk about the timeline for a minute. Until the end of this a minute. Let's hope I'm even at the halfway point. But I really, in order to get with the timeline on the calendar and stuff, instead of within the individual spiritual, what we're talking about, we need to go to the time loop, go from the date, go backwards, see where we are, and then start reading 12 forward. Okay? Let's do that now. All right. I don't want to waste your time. So, when does time show up in so we're going to be jumping forward a little bit with some of this information, okay? But it's going to work out. All right, trust me on this, because we're going to jump back to 12 and then we're going to go through all this. I just feel like if I don't do this now, because this is the way I experienced it. I was like, I watch the whole time, I come back, go backwards, it'll make sense. Okay, so let's do this. All right, now I'm going to go over specifically the passages in Revelations and name them and stuff right now, and what the timeline is. Okay, and then we're going to go through each item, and then we're going to go from 2033 backwards. Okay. First time is brought up in Revelations is in book 9, 5, right? 5 months, grasshoppers, scorpions, the first well. Yes? And this is when the cops were saying, hey, we're going to jab you. If we jab you, you could die. And but no one dies, from the plague, that whole thing. Yes? I just decoded that on the last one. 5 months. Then we had a very cryptic 1 hour, 1 day, 1 month, 1 year. It wasn't 1 plus 1. It's just had a weird 1 hour. That was in 9:15. 9:15, Revelation 9, line 15, right? Slay the third part of men. Yes, during that. So, in other words, during that part, in the individual time loop, right? Sticking with the individual thought. You slay the third part of men. What is the third part of men? The 33, 1/3. The 33, 1/30, right? That's it. You slay them. You make it so they can't touch you no more. You see? Yeah, sign the trust. Come in God. End of the 33. 1/3 of the men. Hey, you just killed them off from touching you and harming you. They're done. Yes, yes. Okay. Then there's 11:3. Yes, we did that. The Holy City, 42 months, and is could be tread underfoot. Next one we see time is in 12:6, 42 months. It's talking about a woman and a child and a dragon. Yes? And then Michael shows up on 12:7, just FYI. It's an important thing we're going to talk about. And then the next time, actually, time shows up again in book 13:5, 42 months again, another 3.5 years. And Beast of the Sea, From the Dragon, and saying a bunch of blasphemies. You know, okay. And that's 3.5 years of that. And then during this time, during this 3.5 years, there's the Mark of the Beast, and that's a big thing. And you know, Angel says judgments come and all that. So that's to the end. That 3.5 takes us to that. Oh, okay. So what do we have here? We started 9/11/2033, right? We can decode this time backwards. Yes. Okay. So 9/11. Hey, I just got a couple more people jumped on. I got to the actual timeline when Judgment Day is going to happen, so the CIA jumped on. Hey, great, good to have you. Let me continue. I got it right. Check my math. Okay, so 9/11/2033. And really, actually check my math as I go through. I don't want to make a mistake. Not just the CIA crew, but everyone actually in here. So I got 9/11 is end time. So then we have 3.5, yes. And the first 3.5, we're going backwards in the book of Revelations through the timepieces. And we're going to go backwards from 9, 11, 23, 33 backwards, which could tell us, oh, what? Here we are in the book. Okay. All right. So what's our first? The next thing that happens, right? 11, 2033, going backwards in time. What do we get to? Book 13:5, 3.5 years. Yes. So let's subtract 3.5 years. Yes. Okay. So that brings us from 9/30/2033, subtracting 3.5 years, three, uh, 3 years, 6 months, brings us uh, yeah, so 6 months. I got it wrong. I'm checking my own math. I got it wrong. So 3 years would be 30, right? That's a year. And then remove 6 months from right, three, 42, 6 months from 9 is 330, right? Which would make sense. Right? So that's January, February, March, right? 330, March of 30. That brings us down to there. Yeah. That time element in book 13:5 brings us to subtracting 3.5 years brings us to March 2030. Okay, let's go to the next item. Going backwards in Revelations, looking at the time elements. Yes, the next one we find is in 12:6, which is just coming up, and that's why I kind of wanted to go through this. Okay, so 12:6, 42 months, another 42 months. Okay, so let's just was 42 months, another 3.5 years. So that's you know from 30, so that would be 27, right? And then move is wait, would it? So no, it would be 26, right? Because remove it from March, so and then move 3 months on 30, and then oh 3 months into so 12, 11, 10, so not 9, 10, wait, so 9/26. Uh yeah, okay. So we're September. Yes, September 26th. Okay. All right. Now, uh, we're going to go uh, to the next, working backwards, yes, to the next time element in the book. And that occurs uh, 11:3. We're just at 11. We just read book 11. And on the passage number 3, there was a time element and it said 42 months. So it's another 3.5 years. Okay, yes, you with me? 9/11/2026. Thank you. Thank you, Allie. Yes. Yeah, thank you for checking my math. I can't screw this up with Allie. Like I probably will, but Allie get it right. Thank God he's here. So 3.5 years again. We're doing 3.5 years. So from 26, right? 23, right? Year 23, and it would be 623. So that would be uh you know, a year ago in a month. Yes, yes, a year ago in a month and a couple days. Yeah. Okay. So we're in. That shows us where we are in the timeline. Yes, yes. Now we're, because we're like, wait a second, does that add up? Because, you're like, well, what's up with this whole COVID thing? Because it said, because let's look at the other time elements. Because I was like, what the what? Because obviously, oh, this started. Well, when did COVID start? Right? And I looked it up, and it's like, well, COVID started in this date and this and this. And you know what? COVID had it sort of didn't start on a particular date. You know, it started here, Wuhan. That thing did, when nobody heard about it here, and then it started here. Started somewhere else here, and then this country did this, and this country did that, and this time they're here. So you get what I'm getting at? That passage is say, oh, 5 months of and then it'll be uh a day, a week, month, a year. That's very cryptic, yes? Meaning different things are gonna happen at different places. At my house, right? A day. Oh, fuck the I'm sorry. I know the children are watching. My bad. Man, screw they're lying again. You know what I mean? There's a plague. Everyone's gonna die. Took me a day to be like, they're lying. And to go make and start going to make fun of them. Oh, it took me a day. You see what I'm saying? They're always lying. So they're lying. And in fact, it was like, wait, you could kill me? I could die right now? I was like, how do I get COVID? Somebody give me that thing, Remember? Remember? No way, right? So that's the one weird cryptic time element in there. You see, in the Revelations, honestly, it's like a day, hour, a month, a year, what comma. It's like, and some people just, oh, that's math, add them up. Nah. Uh, like until you could put it to the timeline, you see, it don't it this stuff doesn't make sense. But now, since the time is, like I said, right now is book 11. You see, uh, book of data, book 11. uh, can name that song in one note, right? Right? They're lying. One day, you got one day. They're lying. Yeah. I don't need the proof is them. They only lie. So I know they're lying because that's what today they're telling the truth. What? No. Come on, someone, anyone. A week later, everyone's like, wait a second. And so on. You with me there? Okay. Yes. So you can see how until an individual has experienced the entire game of Wizard, you can't decode any of this stuff in the game. It doesn't because it doesn't match up with what we're told, but it does match up with what we experience. So, uh, once I went through this whole thing, remember there's 7 years it takes to uh, oh, what is it? In Mama's books, it's there. You get to the seventh plane, then there's the four journeys that the perfect bastard goes through. Yes, 7 years. Excuse me, like Mama did it 7 years too. I wasn't slow, and so it takes 7 years for you to like digest all this and figure out uh, a course of action because you're basically, you've lost everything. The way you get God and the truth and everything, you have nothing. You have nothing, And so you have to accept the truth and fight your way back into a roof over your head and all that kind of whatever, and help people. Uh, Doing what God tells you the whole time when they're trying to crush you on the way, you know, up to this information. So, Dee Dee, have you heard the song from the Beatles, Number Nine? Number Nine? Number Nine? Number Nine? Number Nine? Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah. Number Nine? Number Nine? Number Nine? Which is a funny number, actually. So, one number I've ever asked Sridhar about. I was like, what does number nine mean? He's like, completion. Completion. One word answer. I was like, and I remembered it. What? That's the hook. What? Get out of here. Get off stage. Whoa. Right? There's the first trick. Six, you're like, you got me. There's a second hook. It's like, okay, you're done. Get off the stage. Stage left. Get at it. Hopefully, the stage right. Stage right. Get over here to the right handed guy. Okay, get over there. Number nine. Number nine. Yeah. Oh, that's me. Wait, I got to put back in. Yeah, get back in there, number nine. uh, oh man, that all worked out. I thought it was gonna be like talking about this stuff for hours and hours and hours and hours. Oh, yeah. It's hard to do this work, I'm telling you. Bueller. No, it is. It is. Is it Ferris Bueller? Bueller? Yeah, no, totally it is. So someone has to experience this, and then they tell everyone else, and almost always listening. You're like, well, but that's just the way it is. A game is, even on the other side of the game where you're like, "Oh, I met with God. Now I know God. I know God now. I met him. What? I met him, so I know." It's like, yeah, I met the Beatles once. For how long? Well, I met him for a couple minutes. You don't know the fucking Beatles, dude. You don't know the Beatles. You just met them. I'm like, pretty much. But then so it takes you 7 years to be like, wait, the Beatles are in me now. The God is in me. Like we have to start getting along here and stuff like, how does this work? Uh but it does. So you get to the other side of it, you can explain it to people, and then I can literally sit down. I mean, it's a joke, right? Look at me decoding this with some little bit of preview on my end, but not a lot. I haven't previewed to the end. I only did this timeline thing like yesterday, sitting down here and doing this. I'm just like, oh, I'll decode Revelations, the whole thing, and the timeline up to date, and the meeting, the two meetings, the spiritual meeting, and our timeline, what we see in the world. And I'll do it as we roll, do it live. Dude, give me a break if the magic got past that. No one has ever passed that. Come on. What? What? Come on, people. Come on. I don't even like. I, I could have. Think about it. Think about it. I could have been like, oh, I could make a pre-recorded video. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then it'd be like da da da, or whatever. But I'm just doing it live. Let me see what mistakes I made. Whatever. God's not going to let me make this. Like God cares about you. So it's gonna be like, oh no, I gotta hold on. My thoughts get interrupted. Period. By God, if I at least been off, it's like do this. No, I get sent an image and I start to describe it. It's like that. What? No, not this. I'm like, okay, sorry. I was trying. Uh, so yes, so what I like to do is, you know, I want to say prayer that as everyone witnesses, and I mean the whole world witnesses a marriage next weekend and a new one coming in, and love of God, love your brothers and sisters, and I witness it and help to officiate that. Let's say a prayer that goes smoothly, not just for the day, but forever and their whole family. What? God's infinite, right? So I'm getting the most infinite support I've ever gotten. I really am excited to, focus this week only on doing my best and making sure that uh, celebration goes happily. That's all I, right? Love God, love your brothers and sisters. Let's go celebrate that a little bit. Yay. So let's all say a prayer for them. Yeah, that they have a wonderful, happy union with God, whole family, and it's, happily ever after. What? How is that not possible? I hear about it all the time. J Pop and Didi. So I'll watch you up to date. Huh? Come on. Did you ever think when you first started listening to me, I was going to do this, what I'm doing? And I'm going to give you the future and what's coming up? Come on. Okay, okay. Let's do one thing. Yes, let's do one thing. It's like what's coming up next. Let's tickle the thing for it's 2 weeks. It's not next week. It's 2 weeks because we're taking a break. We just said our prayers. Let's do the upcoming preview before we click off. Right, a little bit of fun. It's not gonna be more fun than a wedding and stuff. I don't mean it like that. But I'm just we'll finish up the show. Hey, and coming in 2 weeks, right? Let's play a game. Let's play a game on the way out. Okay, let's play a game. Let's play a game. Okay, everybody here, we'll play one game real quick. When I ask a question, we'll see who types it in. Okay, and who gets the first link? It's a game. It's a game. Uh, what did Beer Mama say? Oh, uh, spiritual jealousy is okay. In other words, like, oh, I wanted to get that first, but we're all going to get the right answer. You know what I'm saying? Come on, it's fun. It's fun. Okay, okay. And it's a key. It's a key. I give you the timeline, yes. I give you everything, and now we're gonna go 12 do 12. You could look into this for 2 weeks. You could be super, super, up to, what's going on if you look into this. Do your homework. It's fun. Uh, one hit, okay? One hit. Here's a question, and so you get the right answer, okay? I mean, come on, you can do this, right? You all would get the right answer. Somebody's going to type it faster. You would all get this right. I have a supreme confidence in all of you. So it's not that we're just playing a little. It's fun, okay? Okay, because we're all super competitive. We're like we're going to win this race to God. This is just a fun thing on the way. Okay, okay. Super competitors like me. Okay, uh, in the next book, right, we start talking about a dragon. We start talking about a dragon, you know, out there on the world stage. Who 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 could play the role of a dragon? Who got who all dragony out there and their flags and their culture and their you know what I mean? Who's got a big dragon out there? Who's 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 into dragon, like out there on the world stage. Who's the dragon? Right? Come on. Everyone would get this right. I could give hints if we. Elon, no. Oh, Jamie's first. And Jay. They tie. It's a boop, boop. China, that's right. Come on. They fly the dragon flag. Come on. That was not that hard. USA Trump. No, you're talking about the beast over there, George. Don't get ahead of yourself. You're the dragon. Is it? No way. Come on. That's so funny. No, everyone would have everyone would have got to, China if they thought dragon. Come on. Right. And so this is the way this book reads, right? In which you get one key, yes. And I give you the key of the timeline and other stuff. So once you get a key, like, oh, the dragon's China. And that was kind of a gimme. That's not from me, be like, oh, hey, God, yeah, thanks for the gimme in the book, dragon. Nobody else is, walking around the streets in dragon costumes and flying dragon flags, and you know what I mean. I was kind of, oh, let me give you one, and then I'll help unlock us going forward. Okay. Obviously, we're having a little China poll thing. Yes, yes. Come on. Have I been bringing up China? Come on, come on. There will be two leaders that are the size that the end is here. Anyone can beat me. Anyone can be me. Can the devil be me? Uh, anyone. Can anyone chain me? Can anyone shoot me? Can anyone do anything to me? I'm like, fuck, sorry. I'm like Homelander up in here, right? I walk up and look at me in the eyes, man. How am I not one of the leaders? Yeah. How am I not the leader, by the way? Uh, oh, if I bring in the truth, then I bring in the light. Who else is bringing in the truth? No one. Come on. So, right, this gets a noggin going. You see, I give you the timeline, stuff's happening. Then you can go look at the book and be like, "Oh, what? No, wait, out here. Oh, it'll be fun. Come on, this gets fun and interesting. I brought you up to now. Yes, I brought you up to you see me spiritually go through it all. Oh, that he done that. Oh, okay. And I done the rest of the parts. So I done the spiritual parts coming up. And then now we're going to do the time stuff. We'll read about it. We'll see the news. We'll experience it. And we'll also, do some work here over the next few weeks, excluding the next week, about, oh, what's coming up. Okay. And this is a point where should I do it? Should I? Should I give you this information? Should I? Can I trust you? Of course I can. I'm going to give it to you. But think about that from our standpoint. You see what I'm saying? Should I? What else am I doing here? Of course I should. I should. In fact, that's my job. You see? Okay. All right, everyone. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your support. Really, do this in your free time and stuff until we meet again. But in this week, I am not going to look into this. I am focused on one thing. So put your prayers into this one thing. Uh, people that have been most supportive. Uh, to my work, literally, in many ways, supporting, going to India, supporting, because my work is bringing people forward spiritually. So supporting my work is doing your work and moving forward spiritually. If I say it can help you, going to India and all that stuff. These are people that done it and move forward, and this outcome happens to them. So I mean, they are showing you in their glory, really, in our celebration uh, next week, right? Of what's possible under God. The two individuals can come together. Oh, what? I met these two people. Man, I'm never going to meet anyone. This with God and stuff like that. 2 seconds later, boom. And we're going to go celebrate that. And I'm very happy about that. I mean, some of my work is difficult, and some of it, you know, uh, is immeasurably the opposite, blissful. And that's what this will be next week. So I'm really looking forward to it. I am marrying two people, Dee Dee, Reagan and Alan in here. Yes, that's right. Reagan and Alan are getting married next weekend. And say your prayers for them, please. Okay. So, all right. Everyone, thanks for a great week here. Thanks for the support. I will see those, part of some of you uh, this coming weekend. It wouldn't be great if we had a space at some point, but we could all be sitting in there like, hey, because you know what? All right. Final thing. If I had a church, you know what it would be? It doesn't say do this in memory of me, hold up this piece of bread. It's like, hey, have a talk about God and hang out with your loved ones, your brothers and sisters. These are your brothers and sisters in here, by the way. Hang out with them. That's what I'd be doing at church. Let's get together, talk, you talk, I talk, we talk about God, and then celebrate our getting together and be with God, and let's have a meal together here now, us. Because hey, it's Sunday. Hi, let's do. Hey, how you doing, everybody? Yeah, great. You see, like that's what I would do. Like, here, have this piece of bread. And get out of here, oh, wait, man. Get out of here. I don't want to see you. Get out of here. That's not it. Ah. Yes, but that's funny. All right, so everyone, I'll be back in 2 weeks. Okay. Let's get a boat and cut to Vine level. That is what's happening. We are getting a boat. We're sailing into the sea, right? We're getting a submarine. We are living yeah, a coward submarine. A coward submarine. See, it's right behind me. There's Buddha holding up the ball on his head. A blue submarine, right? We live in a bubble, in a submarine under the sea. Uh, you're gonna buy us all a big boat and take it to Florida. Yeah, would it be great to have a boat here? I could come. There's a boat here. Anyway, just thoughts. So we're in the timeline, eh? Uh, and let's focus on this coming weekend. What's really positive is commandment number 2: love your brothers and sisters. Yeah, huh? All right. Uh, all right, everyone. Thank you for being here. Thanks for the support. We'll get into 12 2 weeks from now, and the marriage is this weekend. Okay. All right. God bless you, everyone. See you soon. I agree, Dee Dee.